Hi guys. So we're meeting now sixth time, our Skyro Perspectives, and now in our room we have a very important person, Dmitry. He's the head of products, and he's the guy who's really doing the business. He's pulling all the strings about the business, he's keeping them in his hands, right? Yes, Dima, welcome.
Thank you for having me today. Good morning.
Morning. We want to start as usual, Dim. Maybe a bit of a road back. How did you come here?
Well, I should probably talk a little bit about how I ended up in the Philippines, right?
All right.
Place. Unlike many other colleagues that we have in the company, I came here quite a long time ago, like 7 years almost. And to my embarrassment, I don't speak Tagalog.
But you probably understand what's happening around you.
Yeah. So some of the words that I need to know, I do know. Yeah. So I came here almost 7 years ago, and it was kind of an interesting contract that was offered to me back then. I was supposed to lead here a team of people that would do cross-sell underwriting. This is pretty much about taking care of the existing customers of one of the consumer finance companies here in the Philippines. It was an interesting role, a very new market. Everything is different. As many other ambitious people coming here, I thought, okay, I'm packed with knowledge. I'm gonna, I know what to do. And quite soon I realized that the market is very different, and not necessarily all the things that I learned that I knew how to do back in Kazakhstan were working here as well as back there. So yeah, it was an interesting time.
Well, your family, everybody said, okay, we go.
Wow. When I just asked my family, and I was married already back then, and I had a small kid, 3 years old, I just asked if they would be willing to come. What did they think about it?
So you had to use all your power of persuasion to your wife?
She said, "Well, wherever you go, I go with you."
That's fantastic answer.
And I just showed some advertisements of nice beaches.
You distilled a bit, right?
Yeah, stuff like that. So, yeah. She just needed to Google a little bit about where Philippines is, what it is about, and luckily the best pictures were coming up first in Google. Yeah, so that's how we ended up here. Then there was COVID, quite interesting time to be here.
How did you work in COVID? That's interesting to know, because I think everybody of us didn't experience that time to work in Philippines.
Yeah, well, I can take it like both personally and professionally, right? In terms of from professional perspective, it was a really intense time. It was unprecedented event. Nothing like that ever happened before.
Right.
Nobody knew what to do. Yeah, so a lot of work on collection side, how to treat customers, how to talk to them, whether we can collect or we cannot collect. Then there is a regulator coming in and saying that from tomorrow there is a payment holiday, you need to stop all activities, and you need to figure out how to do that. Also, from business perspective, do you continue to sell loans? To whom? To which customers? Right. What do you need to check additionally? What checks you need to drop? What works? What doesn't work? Because all of a sudden, 40% of your portfolio is in default, and how are you gonna carry that information forward? Are you gonna make them ineligible for subsequent products or not? How do you recover from that? That was really interesting.
It's a great shock, right?
It was a great shock, yeah. Both during the time of the lockdowns and immediately after. A lot of unknowns, a lot of questions. Very intense time.
I learned if you went through the shocks and you survived, you get stronger. Is it the same?
I think so, yeah. I think so, pretty much.
How did you solve all these questions, and what was the formula? How you made decisions?
Well, common sense.
As usual.
Yeah, because you cannot fall back on experience. You cannot look and say, okay, like it happened before, so I know what to do. We just had some vague ideas about how it may work out. But then, yeah, just use your common sense and move forward, step by step, gradually testing what works, what doesn't work, and try to recover the business.
Guys, there are 2 points to get here. First, if you're in crisis, use senses. A common sense is a better one. Second, if you're still not very sure what to do, come to Dima for advice. Hey, interesting. So, as I understand, the situation, ruled out well in the end, right? And then you've been able to work with the same customers, and the same customers were started to go up back into the green zone, so that, and during the crisis time, that was a problem, but then they became to pay back, and so in the end, the situation worked out, and the company went to be solvent again.
That was really important to make sure that, during these times, right decisions were taken, and back then nobody knew what is the right decision. Only after, let's say, half a year to a year, you can look back and say, okay, that was the right decision, or this was a little bit too conservative. Yeah, but in the end, as you mentioned, the company recovered quite well from that.
Dima, I know it's very interesting to, I think for everyone who is coming to the Philippines to do business, the surprises or the differences that you've seen, because you said, I thought I would know a lot about the business, and then when I come to a very different environment, many things work in a different way. Many small nuances, but they come up into the bigger picture in the end. I had this similar experience working in another country, and then when the guys were asking me, if you're coming to, for example, started the project in Philippines, what to do? I told them, keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
Something that previously may work in your brain, automatic decisions, they may not be exactly the same here.
Yeah.
But what is your take? What was the difference between the market in Kazakhstan, for example, and Philippines?
I guess it has to do a lot with the culture, with what people do prioritize, how people prioritize payments, for example, right? Back in Kazakhstan, especially older generation, they still have this kind of a Soviet mindset that my mother, for example, she would be. It would be impossible for her not to pay, not to pay for a loan or have any debt. It's impossible. It's just so irritating that she would take the last money that she has and go.
It's kind of an honor.
Yeah. Here it's a little bit different story. The order of payments, the priorities are way different, and the loans are not somewhere at the top, but they are somewhere here, and you need to make sure that you are taking that into account when you're issuing a loan, right? And you need to make sure that you have proper collection, which is adjusted to that reality. It's a fact, it's reality, right? So you cannot be too harsh. You cannot employ the same techniques in collection that you employ in other countries. But at the same time, it also about how you sell, to which customers you sell, and how do you present yourself, because it gets quite personal. In Kazakhstan, for example, if you are taking a loan from a company, it is perceived that you are dealing with the company, with the brand in general. Here, it's more like you're having personal relationship with the person who assisted you, our agents, for example.
Right.
So the way how they look, the way how they speak, the way how they present the company is really, really important.
Right.
Way more important than anywhere else in the world, maybe.
Even now, a bit of a lesson to me too. Thank you, Dima. You should have given us a speech before that, and all your learnings, all the studies.